Welcome to Session 12, supporting children's social and emotional development and to provide positive guidance. During this session, you will learn the developmental context for self, social, and guidance. Preschool children experience many conflicting feelings and ideas: independence and dependence, confidence and doubt, fear and power, hostility and love, anger and tenderness, and aggression and passivity. They continue to need a reliable environment and secure relationships with adults as they deal with these feelings and learn more about themselves in an expanding world, peers, school, neighborhood, and society. They are proud of their new skills in caring for themselves, developing friendships, building and making things work, understanding and achieving. Adults can support them by respecting and recognizing the strengths and needs of each child, and by providing experience that helps them grow as individuals. You will understand the importance of developing a warm, positive, supportive, and responsive relationship with each child, and help them learn about and take pride in his or her individual and cultural identity. Preschool children welcome social interactions with adults and other children. Their social skills develop rapidly. Adults can promote understanding and respect among preschool children by providing experiences and sharing materials, responsibilities, and social problem solving. Preschoolers can begin to learn about differing individual and group needs in a positive way. For social, you will learn how to help children function effectively in groups, learn to express feelings, acquire social skills, and make friends and promote mutual respect among children and adults. Preschool children can participate in the process of setting group rules and can benefit from learning why those rules are necessary. They require an understanding adult who remains calm and supportive as they continue to become self-regulated. They will continue to test limits from time to time as they grow more confident and independent. Adults can support them by acknowledging their feelings and remaining consistent about expectations, routines, and limits. You will be able to provide a supportive environment and use effective strategies to support children's self-regulation and acceptable behaviors. You will be able to effectively intervene for children with persistent and challenging behaviors. Functional Area 8, Self. Functional Area 9, Social. Functional Area 10, Guidance. All of these areas can be found in your CDA Competency Standard book. Functional Area 8, Self. Items 8.1. Children's environment supports the development of positive self-concepts. Items 8.2. Your interactions help children develop positive self-concepts. Items 8.3. You encourage children to develop a sense of independence. Functional Area 9, Social. Items 9.1. The classroom environment provides opportunities for children to experience cooperation. Items 9.2. A non-biased environment will be provided. Items 9.3. You will promote children's sense of belonging in the classroom community. Items 9.4. You will help children experience sympathy, empathy, and respect for others. Functional Area 10, Guidance. Items 10.1. Spaces and materials are arranged to promote positive interactions. Items 10.2. You will proactively implement methods for preventing behavioral problems. Items 10.3. You will use positive techniques when reacting to children's challenging behaviors. What is self-concept? Self-concept is the picture individuals carry in their mind of who they are, what they can do, and what they are like. Self-concept is developed through interactions with people and surroundings. Many researchers believe a child's self-concept is basically formed by the age of 6. A child's self-concept includes a set of beliefs about himself or herself. If you ask a 3-year-old to tell you about themselves, they will likely provide you with their names, possessions, and physical appearance. At this age, children learn to express their own feelings by watching the adults around them. When you express surprise and happiness, they will show these emotions. Likewise, if you give a hug to comfort someone, who is sad, they will imitate your behaviors. Temperament in children. Even from birth, children differ in temperament or the ways they react to their environment. Temperament refers to the quality and intensity of emotional reaction. Such factors as passivity, irritability, and activity patterns are part of a child's temperament. Passivity relates to how actively involved a child is with his or her surroundings. A passive infant withdraws from a new person or event. An active infant does something in response to a new person or event. Children also differ in their level of irritability or tendency to feel distress. Some infants cry easily. They may be difficult to comfort even if you hold them and try to soothe them. There are other infants who rarely cry. They do not let changes bother them as much. Caring for these infants is usually easier for adults. Activity patterns or levels of movement also vary in infants. Some infants can be described as quiet, making few movements. When asleep, they may hardly move. Others are constantly moving their arms and legs. These infants may even sleep restlessly. If you care for infants, you need to adjust to the temperaments of different children. All infants need loving attention. If given patience, tender care, most children will grow to be happy and well-adjusted. This is even true of the very irritable infants. Encouraging successful social interactions consists of developing positive, secure, and respectful relationships with each child. Also by creating a classroom or group community. Companionship is important to preschoolers. Friendships, attention, and approval are important as well. However, preschoolers are also becoming more independent of adults. They like to play on their own or with other children. They may not always want you or other adults to participate in play. They may still need your help to get materials or settle disputes. Children at this age start to value their friendships with others. They tend to have only a few friends. They also prefer friends of the same sex. Children in this age group become more willing to cooperate as they play with others. They are more likely than younger children to offer a favorite toy to a friend. Many children in this age group choose best friends. They tend to change best friends fairly often, though. Helping children develop a sense of racial identity. Ask yourself these questions. Does each child in your class identify with the learning environment? Do the children see themselves and their families represented throughout the setting and throughout the day positively? Are the materials present proportional to the children in your setting? Do you have strategies for speaking to adults and children that make comments that are inappropriate? As children become more aware of the world around them, they begin to make social comparisons. Through this process, children not only define themselves, they also identify qualities in others. Conscientious teachers help children learn about and appreciate cultures other than their own. They help children appreciate cultural diversity. Children need to learn how others express beauty through art, literature, and music. Teachers use toys, games, food, and special celebrations to teach children about different cultures. They use storybooks, videos, posters, and puzzles to show people from all cultures in a variety of positive roles. Seeing images of people who look like them help children develop a sense of pride in their culture. Seeing images of people from other cultures help children respect and value people's differences and similarities. The relationship tips from the pyramid model was developed by the Center of the Social and Emotional Foundation for Early Learning. It focuses on promoting the social emotional development and school readiness of young children birth to age 5. The pyramid model for supporting social emotional competency in infants and young children is a conceptual framework of evidence-based practices developed by 2 nationally federally funded research and training centers. These centers' faculty represents nationally recognized researchers and program developers in the areas of social skills and challenging behaviors. Based on evaluations over the last decade, the pyramid model has shown to be a sound framework for early care in educational systems. Each tier of intervention builds upon the previous tier. Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions are reliant on the provisions of practices in the lower tier to promote optimal child outcomes. When children have persistent challenging behaviors that is not responsive to interventions at the previous level, comprehensive interventions are developed to resolve problem behaviors and support the development of new skills. PBS provides an approach to addressing problem behavior that is individually designed, can be applied with all natural environments by the child's everyday caregivers, and is focused on supporting the child in developing new skills. When children have challenging behavior or social emotional risk, it is imperative that intervention is delivered quickly and effectively. There is ample research evidence that when children's challenging behaviors persist, the problems are likely to worsen and become compound by related problems, including peer and adult rejections and coercive relationships. Thus, the pyramid model has been provided to early educators so that practitioners and programs can provide the most effective interventions needed to immediately support the child and results in desired child outcomes. Children in need of Tier 2 or Tier 3 approaches should have immediate access to those interventions. The interventions involved in the pyramid model are reliant on the participation of families. All families are provided with information on how to promote their child's social development. When children are in need of Tier 2 or 3 interventions, families are involved in the provision of systematic interventions by providing increased opportunities for the child to learn and practice new skills in the context of everyday activities and routines in the home and community. When children have persistent challenges, families and other persons involved with the child form a collaborative team to develop and implement comprehensive intervention and support that should be applied in all of the child's routines and activities. Building relationships. Why is it important? The relationships that we build with children, families, and colleagues are at the foundation of everything we do. It is important to build these relationships early on rather than waiting until there is a problem. Children learn and develop in the context of relationships that are responsive, consistent, and nurturing. Children with the most challenging behaviors especially need these relationships, and yet their behaviors are often prevent them from benefiting from those relationships. Adults' time and attention are very important to children, and we need to be sure that we are giving them the time and attention they need at all times rather than when they are just engaging in challenging behaviors. Parents and other colleagues, such as mental health providers and therapists, are critical partners in building children's social and emotional competency. We should all work together to ensure children's success and prevent challenging behaviors. Some of the ways you can help build the relationships is by helping each child feel accepted in the group. Assist children in learning to communicate and get along with one another. Encourage feelings of empathy and mutual respect among children and adults. Also, provide a supportive environment in which children can learn and practice appropriate and acceptable behaviors as individuals and as a group. Around age 3, children begin to notice that boys and girls are physically different. This is the beginning of gender identity, the awareness of being male or female. A person's appreciation for his or her own gender is an important part of good emotional health, including the development of self-esteem. One way children develop gender identity is through dramatic play, the imitation of real-life situations. They might play house or play school. During dramatic play, children often pretend to be adults. Through this type of play, children learn about themselves as well as others. Dramatic play allows them to explore the wide range of roles and careers that grown men and women have. Seeing both women and men in caregiving roles further emphasizes this lesson. Preschoolers also become aware of differences in racial and ethnic backgrounds. They need to take pride in their own heritage and respect the heritage of others. These attitudes are encouraged when books, posters, music, and food in the program represents many different cultures. It is also helpful if caregivers are from different cultural backgrounds. Gender and racial stereotypes should not belong in the early childhood program, or anywhere else for that matter. A stereotype is a present idea about a person or group of people based solely on one characteristic, such as gender, nationality, race, or religion. A stereotype may be true of a few people in the group, but it is not true for all. For example, saying that all blondes are dumb is simply not true. Moreover, such statements can be hurtful. In addition, the statement often affects the thinking and attitudes of other people. When stereotyping is not allowed, children can feel proud of who they are and are more confident about developing their potential. Building positive relationships, emotional piggy bank. How do we build relationships with children? We should make positive deposits into their emotional banks. We make deposits when we do things to build relationships, and we make withdrawals when we engage in behaviors that are detrimental to relationship building. For example, when responding to children's behaviors, we may say no, no hitting, don't run, no coloring on the wall, no, 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 but instead, tell the child what to do rather than what not to do. Here are some tips that will make deposits into children's emotional banks. Get the child's attention. Be specific. Keep it simple. Try to avoid combining encouragement with criticism. Use enthusiasm to encourage the child. Double the impact with physical warmth. Use positive comments and encouragement in front of others. Here are a few other ways to make deposits. When a child misses school, tell him or her how much they were missed. Find time to read to individual children or a few children at a time. Acknowledge children's efforts. Find out what a child's favorite book is and read it to the whole class. Give compliments liberally. Play with children and follow their lead. Let children make all about me books and share them at circle time. Expressing feelings. Help children associate a name with the way they feel. Give children opportunities to identify feelings in themselves and others. Start with identifying basic emotions such as happy and sad, then move into words like frustrated and grateful. Use feeling cards and charts and stories. Acknowledge when children talk about their feelings. Let children know that everyone has negative feelings sometimes. Give children space to work through negative emotions. Model calmness. Children learn from your example. Encourage children to resolve peer conflicts independently. Practice feelings-related activities. Setting effective rules. Are you currently setting effective rules? Are they positive, clear, and developmentally appropriate? Positive guidance is the best approach for you to support children and help them maintain control of their behavior and emotions. True challenging behavior interferes with a child's ability to learn and develop. It is unsafe and harmful to themselves and others. It hinders relationships and friendships. As early childhood educators, we are expected to know that many inappropriate behaviors are expected and are signs that a child is growing and developing. Infants reach to grab everything in sight to put in their mouth. Toddlers learn the word no and use it frequently. Preschoolers have tantrums. Employing the positive guidance techniques. Instead of thinking on the negative attributes, reconfigure the setting to prevent and correct challenging behaviors in your classroom. Determine the root cause and motivation for children's challenging behaviors. Provide children with developmentally appropriate choices. Use natural consequences when appropriate. Coach children and support them in resolving conflicts independently. Focus on the positive. Acknowledge children individually and in front of the group. Help children do the right thing. Observe all children and continue to learn new things about them each day. Individualize your approach to meet children's needs. As one of your assignments this week, you will read an article written by Dr. Siegel about understanding timeout and the effective alternatives to timeouts. For this week's assignments, you will read in your textbook pages 239 to 352. You will also read an article called Timeouts Are Hurting Your Child. You will complete the discussion board answering the questions and responding to another student's response. You will also complete this week's assessment and write your competency statement number 3.